And without thinking, Winnie chuckled and released Perseus. I don't think I did anything I shouldn't have done to you, did I? What do you mean? You know what I mean. Adult stuff. Don't tell me you don't know. Winnie hinted wildly. No, Perseus replied expressionlessly. Winnie was taken aback, wondering if she had been too vague and misunderstood something else. Although the man in front of her was an adult and taller than her, his innocent and handsome face and his always pure eyes made her feel that he was just a teenager. Did he not know about that kind of thing? Although she really wanted to answer the other party's questions and clarify the truth of last night, she was a magic teacher, not a physiology teacher. Talking about such things with a man would be indecent. Despite her appearance, she is a noble woman who has received a lady's education. Perseus, do you know how you came into this world? Winnie asked with a mysterious expression. Perseus frowned slightly. He knew without guessing what foolish thing this woman was thinking. Ms. Winnie, you've misunderstood. I didn't do anything wrong to you last night. After you passed out, I helped you to bed, and I slept on the sofa outside, Perseus said slowly. How was this possible? Then why does my chest hurt so much? Winnie screamed. Gravity, I suppose, Perseus replied calmly. What the hell? Winnie frowned. Alcohol side effects, Perseus replied instantly. It's clear that your body is not tolerant to alcohol. Forcing yourself to drink will more or less cause problems. It's just that the location of the pain is a bit unusual this time. You can check the location of the pain again if you don't believe me. Winnie quickly closed the door, then opened it again with a smile after a while. I knew I had misunderstood you. I'm so sorry. It's okay, can I go to the cafeteria for breakfast now? No problem, but I have a question I'd like to ask before that. Winnie gently grabbed his shoulders with both hands. You said, Perseus, I am a woman, and a beautiful one at that. I've always had many suitors, both in the past and now. Last night, I lay in front of you completely unguarded. Did you really not feel anything for me at all? Charm is something that older single women like her have to pay attention to. This involves many aspects, all kinds of aspects. If things don't go well, she'll be very frustrated. Don't say such nonsense. Perseus forcefully pushed her hand away, his face serious. Professor Winnie, you are the teacher, and I am the student. How could I possibly have such thoughts about you? That's true, I was just joking. You shouldn't even joke about it. This kid is really principled. But why does this man, who claims to respect her so much, look at her with such a... Are you watching a female monkey striking a pose? It's probably just my imagination again, Winnie thought. She has absolutely nothing to do with a female monkey. The vegetables I bought yesterday should still be there, right? It's only been a night, they can still be eaten after being heated up, so there's no need to go to the cafeteria again. Winnie's face flushed slightly, but she tried to remain calm as she made the arrangements. I only ate half a roast chicken and didn't touch the rest. The two went to the dining table. Winnie noticed that the dishes were quite fresh, and some of the hot dishes were even still hot and didn't need to be heated at all. As for the half bottle of wine, it was still sitting where she was. Winnie was furious. It was all this thing's fault. Winnie picked up the half-empty bottle of wine and went to the balcony, where she watered a flower pot. The unopened bottle of wine was also used to feed the flowers. Eat. Winnie sat calmly in her chair, engrossed in her work. It's not advisable to eat too much meat in the morning, especially since Perseus lost his appetite as soon as he saw this wretched woman. After eating a couple of bites, Perseus packed up some meat, intending to feed it to Luna later. He went back to his apartment first and found that the two girls had already left before heading to the classroom. When they arrived at the classroom, they didn't see them right away. Luna had already finished eating all the meat by the time they finally arrived. Perseus stroked Luna's little wolf head in his arms and greeted Mellifera. Mellifera forced a smile, and it looked completely unnatural. Ibiza is still the same as always. Nothing can be seen from her. It's hard to imagine what happened in his room last night. As soon as Helen entered the classroom, she began sniffing him from head to toe, even more so than Luna. Darling, what are you doing? Perseus smiled. Looking for the scent of other women. Helen smiled. Little Luna, have you found anything? Perseus smells so good today, so meaty. Luna savored the memory, swallowing hard. It's no use saying anything now, darling. Come with me for a moment. I need to check if you cheated on me last night. After lifting Luna onto the table, Helen tried to pull Perseus away. Perseus, however, remained unmoved and even brought Luna back in his arms. Helen raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? You won't let me check? Let's talk about it tonight. I'll come to your place tonight, Perseus said with a faint smile. Okay, But aren't you staying at Ms. Winnie's apartment? I think we might not get along. Why? Various aspects, too many to explain in a few words. So, will you do your best tonight? She suddenly leaned close to Perseus's ear and gently stroked his back with her small hand. I'll try my best. Perseus's eyes were clear as water. What exactly happened last night? Helen was completely confused. Chapter 57: Luna's ingenious use. To infiltrate the palace, Crown Prince Andre is an indispensable key, but how to utilize this man is a dilemma for Perseus. It's impossible to use Andre's feelings for Ivaisa as a starting point. If you explicitly say you want his help to enter the palace, no matter how you conceal your true purpose, no matter how much you emphasize that it's for Ivaisa, they're all asking for death. Because their crown prince, in the eyes of others, is a wise and powerful aloof god, but in front of his emperor father, he is just a silly and obedient child. Even a few harsh words spoken in words would be truthfully reported by this kid, let alone something as important as infiltrating the palace. Replacing him with Jerome might still be a possibility, but unfortunately, it cannot be replaced. Therefore, we must utilize him in a refined and unconventional way, without any ulterior motives whatsoever. To reduce one's own threat level to almost zero, even if one actively seeks out Andre, it is unacceptable to do nothing but chat idly. Andre's intelligence is not important here. His identity is what matters. As the crown prince of the most powerful country in the Western continent, and the heir to the throne established from birth, Andre may seem like a dim-witted and simple-minded boy, but he is one of the most valued people in the world by that scoundrel emperor. At any time, in any place, the dog emperor is watching this kid's every move. Anyone who gets close to Andre, whether they realize it or not, has come into the emperor's sights and may even have the honor of receiving some attention. Desiring wealth and honor does not guarantee success even after overcoming numerous hardships. To bring about one's own demise is quite simple. To achieve your goal while staying alive, the following conditions must be met. It had to be Andre who took the initiative to talk to him. It must have been Andre who took the initiative to invite him into the palace. Furthermore, it's crucial to make that cunning, monstrous emperor himself believe that the above 2 points are reasonable. Only in this way can he be considered to have completed the first small stage of the overall goal. How he would sneak into the secret room and escape unscathed without the emperor noticing was something he dared not even think about now. Although it sounded difficult, Perseus knew that standing still and waiting for the right opportunity would never get him anywhere. He had to take action. Even doing something very small, seemingly unrelated to your goal, might trigger an unexpected butterfly effect. So Perseus chose to date Mellifera. Yesterday's argument with Jerome must have been a huge blow to the princess. Although she pretended to be fine, even her classmates, Mouse San and Ghost C, could tell that this girl, who was usually as warm as the sun, was preoccupied with something. After the first class, Perseus and Luna went for a stroll. After scouting the location, Perseus felt confident after the second period ended. Your Highness Mirafara, the blue star flowers in the garden seem to be in bloom. Would you be so kind as to invite me to come and admire them? Seeing Mellifera slumped listlessly on her desk as soon as get out of class ended, Perseus smiled and extended an invitation. Wow, darling, I love blue star flowers the most. Can I come with you? Helen added her usual antics. Looking at Helen's smiling face, Mellifera suddenly felt a surge of strength, silently stood up, and nodded. Helen's smile froze for a moment, but this didn't stump her at all. Helen clung tightly to Perseus's arm, looking utterly pitiful, and tried her best to be affectionate. Take me with you, just take me with you. I'm clearly your girlfriend, okay? Even the other kids in the class, Cat 3 and Dog 4, couldn't stand it anymore and glared at Perseus with murderous eyes. Huh, scumbag. Ming already has Miss Helen, yet he still extends his evil claws to Princess Mellifera? Wah, poor Miss Helen. Has she already gotten tired of the man she loves after only a few days? If he still refuses even then all those guys who have long disliked him will definitely swarm him. Perseus wasn't afraid of these small fry, but he was afraid they would ruin his plans. Darling, didn't you promise to play with Luna and have a heart-to-heart talk with her? Perseus asked, looking puzzled. Helen looked at Luna with a pitiful expression and saw that Luna's ears perked up and her big eyes were shining. In that eager gaze, there was not only intense anticipation, but also the nervousness of a concubine meeting the first wife and a fervent hope for a happy life together for the three of them in the future. In short, It was a look that couldn't be ignored. Perseus chuckled to himself. Helen and Luna seem to be getting along very well lately, but this is only on the surface. On the surface, they are friends. But in their deep, unseen relationship, they are sisters. Yes, the more traditional kind of older sister and younger sister. Although Luna seems arrogant, she actually longs to build deep connections with people, the kind where sincerity is exchanged for sincerity. Quite simple and pure. In her eyes, Helen is her future family, or even already is. Despite being family, they could only interact as friends, which made Luna very unhappy. However, she wasn't very bold in this regard and didn't dare to bring it up. So if Helen were to take the initiative to open up to her, she would be so happy she'd practically fly to the sky. For example, right now, Helen is portrayed as a gentle and understanding older sister in front of Luna, and Luna thinks so too. If Luna discovers that she is neither gentle nor kind, wouldn't her character be completely ruined? How should we choose? Miss Helen. Honey, I almost forgot if you hadn't reminded me. Thank you so much. Helen looked over with a sweet smile. Do we need to say these things between us? Perseus said calmly. It's not convenient here. Let's talk about it tonight. Helen winked sweetly. Even a glimpse from the corner there, I made those cats, dogs, and other animals' hearts race, and they almost screamed like ghosts. Perseus nodded with a smile. Let's go, Luna. Helen gently took Luna's hand. Yes, sister. Luna's ma'id shaidi. The two girls waved goodbye to Perseus at the same time and disappeared from the classroom. Millie Farah was completely stunned after watching the whole thing. Your Highness, Perseus said softly. Huh? Miri Farah finally came to her senses, and her beautiful smile looked slightly strange. Could it be that this woman is also impressed by his brilliant move? While using Luna to perfectly restrain Helen is very useful, it makes the nighttime life unpredictable. Sigh, let's talk about tonight's business tonight. Now is the time to date a girl who isn't my girlfriend yet. Perseus likes to focus on the present moment. Chapter 58, Three-Way Standoff. The College Garden has always been a popular dating spot, and this season is the perfect time to enjoy the blooming flowers. Spending time here with your lover is simply wonderful. Helen was delayed for a while, and when the two arrived, there were already several couples there. But as soon as they saw Perseus, they immediately ran away. Perseus and Mirafara ignored the people and silently walked to a flower bed. Perseus took off his coat and carefully placed it on the edge of the flower bed before inviting Mellifera to sit down. So thoughtful. Miri Farah smiled and gracefully took her seat. Then, she stopped smiling and stared blankly ahead with a melancholy look in her eyes. After Perseus sat down beside her at a comfortable distance, she spoke. Perseus, did you contact me because of my argument with Jerome? Or did he ask you to contact me? If it's not the latter, Your Highness, won't you be very disappointed? Perseus smiled nonchalantly. Mellifera shook her head. On the contrary, if you're acting as his mouthpiece, I don't want to hear what you have to say. But if you're the one who wants to talk to me about something, shouldn't that be seen as you showing concern for your friend? If you're willing to understand it that way, that would be wonderful. So how much do you know about this? Actually, I know nothing about the details, and His Highness Jerome didn't tell me either, but I can roughly guess. It's related to Ivisa, right? Mellifera nodded, her face expressionless. Your Highness, Ivisa is a very, very good girl. I know that. Mellifera paused for a moment. I can accept that Jerome likes her, but I can't accept that he would give up everything he has to carry for a woman. You should understand what I mean, right? She asked. I understand perfectly. Mellifera sighed almost inaudibly. Our kingdom of Infero is a small country with barren land and scarce resources, unlike your Zillenrea Empire. It was born with poor conditions and was forced to endure the long-term oppression of neighboring countries because of its geographical location. The lives of the people are very difficult. As their monarch, the responsibilities you have to bear are naturally beyond the imagination of ordinary people. But I believe you can understand, right? She asked. I wouldn't say I fully understand, but I can roughly imagine it, Perseus said softly. Perseus, you are a truly honest man, Mellifera smiled. I dare not accept such praise. From a very young age, our father has repeatedly told us to remember this responsibility. Our father was a good king who was deeply loved by his people, but he often lamented his incompetence and blamed himself for not being able to provide his subjects with the life they desired. Many